evening, ladies and gentlebots, and welcome to the Shunt Posting News. This week, fans have been disgruntled by some truly bracket-busting brawls on BattleBots, and I am quite good at alliteration. We were also delighted to be dealt a dastardly dish of delicious judges' decisions, which left fans fawning, frowning, and frantically frenzying at their fucking screens.
You could have just gone with Hey Dale.
What?
Bloody knob. Get on with the fights.
Oh, all right, okay. Sensible now. Shatter versus Lockjaw. We had some plenty good bonking in this fight, I'll tell you that, Dale.
Oh dear, yes, it was, yes.
It was a jolly good bonk. It was a marvellous, spiffing, excellent showing, Shatter. I'm not doing the whole episode as the Queen. I can't. I'm too hungover for a start. This episode is brought to you by my hangover, ladies and gentlebots, which is thrilling. You all wanted to know that. What you really want to know is what happened between Shatter and Lockjaw, because that's what we're here to talk about. I mean, Lockjaw just did the Lockjaw thing, didn't it? It was all right for a bit, and then it smoked.
Yes, got too much of a bad smoking habit. Yes.
It needs to quit smoking.
It does, yes. I mean, it would be funny, though, next season if it comes back with a patch on. Oh, dear. But also, yeah...
Lockjaw, sponsored by Nicorette.
Oh, dear. But, yeah, no, John Reed should take note of Shatter, waiting for a good hit. Back to the fight.
just I give no fucks. Bonk, 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 bonk. Although, I have to say... I personally found the bonking of Captain Shredderator much more satisfying. But that's not to say this wasn't satisfying. But that nice little plastic on the top of Captain Shredderator, though. Oh, he got right in there.
Yes, it could. Well, it shattered itself, ironically enough. Yes. But yeah, no, good. Well done to Shatter, and got a strong chance going forward.
It does. It is in the top 16 now. Woo woo! Go Shatter. Go Shatter. Doing it for the Hammer Crew. Woohoo! That brings us on to Endgame versus Perfect Phoenix. I have to say, as amazing as I know Tyler is, I did not think he was going to get this. But I will give him credit. He took it to Endgame. He was not showing any fear of the big, nasty Endgame. It didn't go his way in the end, and he ended up upside down, got stuck, and that was that. But at the beginning of the fight, he really took it to him. Straight out the box, in there. Come on, Endgame, give it your best shot. And then Endgame did. Got a bit heated.
Yes. It started out with a nice light tap, and then both weapons got spun up, and they were almost touching, and he's just like, oh, what's going to happen? And then that happened, and it was just like, bang! And it's like, ah.
And Tyler's hopes of the top 16 are now dashed, but never mind. I mean, for your first outing to BattleBots to make the tournament is amazing. So we'll give him a little round of applause for that.
Yes. Congratulations.
Well done, Tyler. But no, that fight was over rather quickly, really. So not too much to say about it.
Pretty much, yes. So we move on to Copperhead against Mammoth.
And this is where we wholeheartedly tell the audience, fuck your predictions. There's no way you thought Mammoth won this ever in a million years. I think this, on this side of the bracket, this was the fight that made you go F in the chat the most, because Copperhead is a freaking monster, and as awesome as Mammoth has been this season, you did have to be quite worried about the gangling scaffolding up against the likes of Copperhead. But Mammoth was well, fuck your physics and your common sense and your sensibilities. I'm gonna beat Copperhead. And it was a close judge's decision though. I could have accepted it either way. I'd have been, I think, slightly sad if Copperhead had got it, just because for me Mammoth put on such a good show of it, and I love an underdog, right? But if they had got it, I could not have complained. It was so close.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with it. I honestly did give it to Copperhead myself. Only just, but, that's the way it goes. But yeah, that's a great fight, though.
I agreed with Jason Bardis that although, yes, he did get spun up again towards the end, it wasn't controlled attacking because his drive was pretty balked by then.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but it's just I feel like the damage had already been done as well. That carried a load of more weight and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, because Mammoth didn't necessarily damage Copperhead in the same way that Copperhead damaged Mammoth. If that makes sense.
Well, Copperhead's weapon wasn't working for a substantial portion of the fight, so
Yeah,
I
but
would say that counts as pretty good damage.
no. But what I'm saying is, once it spun up again, it kind of counteracted any damage that it was. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
but
Whereas,
no, but yeah, but no. But
so I'm just saying, but like parts
thank
of
you, Vicky
Mammoth
Pollard.
were broken, bent, and destroyed, like falling apart and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and Copperhead's weapon wasn't working, and then its drive wasn't working. I mean, the drive is pretty fundamental. I mean, Mammoth might not have looked pretty, but that thing was still driving well, and its weapon was working.
Let's just move on.
Yes, yes. Sawblaze versus Kraken. And hi, Kraken, you've joined the face smashing club again. Welcome back, Matt. We're a friendly bunch in here. Poor Kraken. Sawblaze did bonk its face in a bit with the hammer saw. Although I loved the bit at the start of the fight. You genuinely thought Kraken had a really good shot at this when Kraken got Sawblaze's weapon in its teeth and just dragged it around the arena like a trophy for a little while. Says, yeah, see, I'm a little fish and I've got a dragon in my mouth. Ha!
I was going to say you could call it Jawblaze. Oh dear. Yes, sorry, but a much more serious note, sort of. I thought it was Jameson, like a shark smelling blood. The other week, Rusty wasn't enough, and he just kept going and going. And I was just thinking, Jesus Christ, let him die. He just wouldn't let it out.
So what you're saying is you think that Jameson is becoming homicidal towards other robots?
I mean, I'm starting to worry about his home life. I mean, what's the situation at home like? Is he going to be, aggressive against someone like Kraken? I mean, anyway, but yeah, Kraken's won me over this season. I mean, I already liked it before, but just you always get great fights.
It's been such a hero this season, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, and making it into the top 32 as well. It's just wonderful. I love an underdog in the tournament. It's brilliant.
Yes.
We'll move on to one of the saltier judges' decisions of the evening. Gruff versus Bloodsport. And we're getting F in the chat for Bloodsport's weapon.
Yes. I mean, I was going to say it. Oh, I was just going to say, if anyone didn't know how tough Gruff was, this should show you how tough they are.
I mean, it just balked, didn't it? One hit and doing. Oh, that bit's gone flying. Oops. You need that bit, Bloodsport.
Just a bit, yes.
Oh, I did quite like the way that they used it later on, the broken weapon later on, because the motor was still working, and they used it to get off of Gruff later on in the fight. It was quite a clever little maneuver there. I like that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it went to Bloodsport, and I must admit, I don't see it personally. I think it's close, and I'm not salty about it, but I personally would have given it to Gruff.
Yeah, I'm more salty about the Copperhead Mammoth, if anything, but not by much. But yeah, no, I mean, it was what it was, I guess. It's just either one had to lose, and they both put up a good fight. So, yeah.
From salty judges' decisions to amusing finishes, Fusion became Tantrum's flaming mohawk. I love this. I mean, what a way to die, getting stuck on your opponent's head and setting yourself on fire. I mean,
I mean, I couldn't word it better myself.
It's not done the best out of the way Archie-Bots this season, has it? This one?
No. I mean, when you compare it to Hydra, obviously not, but...
Maybe it needs a bike rack.
I mean, I think it needs an extinguisher on the inside, to be fair.
Oh, dear. I love the way that Tantrum's weapon was kind of still working, but bent at an angle. It's like...
Yes, yeah, I made a note of that. Yes, wonky spinner.
Wonky spinner. It was a lovely wonky spinner. That's what you get for throwing a tantrum.
Oh dear, don't be such a hothead.
Oh, get out of it. We will move on to the main event. If well, you don't really have main events anymore at this point, do we? Scorpios versus Witch Doctor. And the thing I love about this fight is that Scorpio's team were just like, okay, our spinner might not be working, but we don't care. And it's now a hammer. So, they're adaptable. And Witch Doctor was as tasty as you expect Witch Doctor to be when it's on form. And Scorpios was like, I don't care. Oh, I'm still going to give you a run for your money. And they bloody well did. This was a good back and forth slugfest. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it actually, only when the fight started, it dawned on me properly what we had. Like, two of the best drivers. All we needed to do was add Matt Vasquez somewhere, and it would have been just like top 3 almost.
And a double date, because it's 2 husband and wife teams. You got Mike and Andrea Galately on Team Witch Doctor, and Diana Tarson and Zach Lytle on Scorpios are married.
That's also true, yes.
Double date fight! There you go. But somebody had to win, and it was not Scorpios.
Yes. Which is a shame, though, because I like both robots, and it's a shame one had to lose. I was kind of secretly hoping Rusty would somehow kind of interfere and end up winning. But
that's fair. Maybe it's going to be later on in the series. We've still got a couple of episodes left, so don't panic too much. I'm sure it's coming.
I'm still hoping, yes, but it would have made sense for this fight.
It would.
Yes. The hell of a season though for Scorpio. So.
It was. I mean, Scorpios has just been amazing this season. It's a really, really nice comeback for it. It's not a bot to be messed with, and especially not under the controls of Zach and Diana. Because I just also say, not just to Zach's driving, but to Diana's weapon operating as well. We haven't covered Bounty Hunters yet, but there is a moment in Bounty Hunters where you really, really see the importance of a good weapon operator. I won't give away too much because we haven't gone into Bounty Hunters yet. But there is a Scorpios moment in Bounty Hunters where Diana is just on form with that weapon, and it shows you that, it really shows you the importance of a good weapon operator at your side as well as a good driver.
Yes.
Right, ladies and gentlebots, we missed out Jackpot versus Rotator, and that is because we have got Jeff Waters from Jackpot on the show. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Not too bad. It's just another boring, sodding lockdown day, really. But we have BattleBots to keep us going, so there's that.
At least for a few more weeks, yeah. Then we go back to depressing Thursdays.
Shh! Don't. Shush! Shh! So you'll traumatize the children.
We still got bounties for a few weeks, so we'll be fine.
We do. We haven't covered the bounty hunters on this show yet, but we will be. So we'll have a few more Shuntcasts to do. Oh God, Dale, more Shuntcasts to do.
Oh dear.
It never ends.
It's never ending. Oh, our 3 listeners will be delighted. Right, so Jeff, what is your reaction as a newbie to 1, being in the top 32, and 2, being drawn against Rotator?
We were really surprised that we did as well as we did going into the season, considering the timeline that Jackpot was built during. As you saw, there was a lot of learning curve, especially with that first fight against Sub-Zero. Like, we shouldn't have won that fight. We just, the luck of Vegas was on our side that event. After that, we just kept increasing the little errors that we kept finding throughout the robot, and all that stuff that is normally figured out during the build time, because we didn't have that time. Our build R&D was during the competition. It
is a tight time frame, and then with all the COVID stuff and whatever, you just so short notice. It's you weren't the only ones. I know that. But I actually, one of the things I loved about your robot is because I had a moment of dumb engineering, which I do frequently because, to be fair, I'm not an engineer. And I saw Jackpot with its huge ass glittery spinner on the front, and it's so big and reaches out so far that I saw it and I was kind of like, this defies physics, surely, if this works, because it's so big on the front that it looks like as soon as you move it, it would just face plant the floor. But it doesn't. So I was like, well, fair enough. And fuck my lack of engineering skills. But no, I love that about it, because I looked at it and thought, no, it's going to face plant. It's going to, no, it's working pretty well, actually. So there we go. Rotator, though. Did you shit yourself at Rotator?
It's kind of like the same as like, it was the same level as of Lockjaw. Like with that, we kind of waiting up till 11 p.m. Up sometimes midnight, waiting for your fight card to get announced for the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was even more so there because we didn't know where we were going to be seated. Like we were like or 3-0, but it was a very weak 3-0. So it's like, where are we going to be? We're going to be top 10. We're going to be up there with Bloodsport and them, which I don't think we would have deserved. But I feel like going into 11th was pretty fair. But the fact that we drew a Rotator, but being in the top half of the field was just like, why?
I must admit, actually, out of the two, Lockjaw and Rotator, I'd have definitely needed Brown Trousers harder for Rotator. Like Lockjaw, I'd be like, veteran driver, and veteran builder. It's a scary machine when it's working, but as we've pointed out on the show several times, it does have a smoking problem.
Well, that, and before the Lockjaw fight, actually, Craig sat down with me from Mobot, and we kind of shot the shit for like 30 minutes, and that night before that fight, and he kind of just told me all of the quirks and stuff that a Donald Hudson has and how to take advantage of them, and that's how we ended up winning that one.
I mean, yeah, just wait for it to set fire to itself, to be fair.
Exactly. It was
right?
a mix of that and
It's also the Captain Shredderator tactic. Just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
Just wait.
Yeah, but with a Rotator was probably the one robot we did not want to fight this year.
Right. I mean, it's on form this year, and it's a monster.
Yeah. Oh, like we had planned, like that plow, the ass plow is what we were calling it. It was actually not supposed to be an ass plow originally. If you notice, there's the big old cutouts in the front, and it's supposed to go to the front. Well, to do that, we would have to have welded it in place for it to, not hinge into the weapon. And that would have involved, tearing the whole robot down to get all the electronics out, so we don't fry the electronics when we weld it. And we wouldn't have had the time, so we had the idea. We were like, okay, we can either not run it and risk getting, obliterated by the wheels being gone, or we can run it. But if we ran it, we didn't have the weight to run that and the Shremek. And it was just by like the minuscule of margins too. It was like 3 pounds over or something like that. If we had the Shremek and the wedge, we just couldn't find it anywhere. The weight.
So we are going to tuck into some fan and builder questions. Are you ready for these?
Oh yeah, let's get right into it.
Okay, here we go. Right, first up, Helen Claudio asks, who did you really want to fight and who did you least want to fight?
So one of the bots we really wanted to fight against was a uppercut. We were actually talking with them, and if we had the opportunity, we wanted to do a grudge fight with them, with us doing our, full send spinner and them doing their 80-pound disc and just kind of like colliding. That would have been a epic fight because it would have gone to like 1 or 2 hits. It would have been crazy. Another person we were trying to push for to fight was huge, but with the season they were having going into there, I don't think the selection committee was going to let us fight them.
What about least wanted to fight?
Least wanted to Rotator. that was even before we
fought. You just
say
Rotator,
them.
to be fair.
Just because they with that plow, it would have worked against like Valkyrie. It would have worked against Hijinks, but Rotator has those forky bits that just kind of like ruin your day.
They fork you. That's what they do.
Like even in that fight, like when we went plow to weapon, we were winning those exchanges. But when they turned around and started forking, that's when it all switched.
I'm enjoying myself here. I really Dale, give him the next
You're really
question.
forking, enjoying yourself.
I am really fucking enjoying myself, mate. It's fucking jolly good. Dale, give him the next question
Yes.
before I get
Here's the next
naughty.
forking question. Yes. So, Greg Sova says, "Have you got a Shreemic?"
Have you got a forking Shreemek?
Oh, for crying out loud!
We're just gonna have forking to all the questions now.
Oh, yeah.
We do. We didn't have a Shreemek going into the competition. We were originally running those bunny ears to keep it from, doing the whole bite force driving upside down into the wall thing to get back over. It's just they were too thin, so they were bending, and we didn't want it to bend into the weapon, so it turned into I have these winches like for like a ATV, and we kind of just booger welded a bar to it and just bolted it to the side with some plasma cut parts that were made by the Mad Catter team for us.
The next question is from Tom, whose surname I can't pronounce, and I've just given up throughout this series. And he's given me a question which I'm also going to struggle to pronounce, but I'll give it a go. How many jacks would a jackpot pot if a jackpot could jackpots? I can see if I can add forking into this. How many forking jacks would a jackpot pot if a jackpot could forking jackpots? That was terrible. Answer the question, Jeff.
I'm going to go with at least two.
Two. I'll give you 3
I
figures.
think I had this question before too with some other groups. It's
a regular thing on this show that somebody will make a question of this, like how many shocks could a hypershock shock if a hypershock could shock shocks and stuff like that, and I have to do it every damn time.
I'm just going to keep with two.
Two. That's a.
Tom Brisbane wants to know, which British bot do you think you'd hold all the aces against? Oh dear.
Hold all the what now?
Hold all the aces.
Oh, like I would have a
Jackpot.
good shot against, or
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say Nelly because we're biased on this show.
I would have to say Beta because we don't have to run any top armor.
This is very true, and just to pay them back for not firing the bloody hammer enough this season.
I know, right? Well, they would probably run the flat armor against us, and that would be bad because we hit forward.
They have taken waiting for a good hit to the extreme this season, to the disappointment of Hammer fans. It's like, come on!
We're gonna wait until next season for the good hit.
Well, we might as well. We might as well. Mary Catherine Carr says that she thinks you could use more glitter and would also like to know what is the requisite length of a plumber's crack.
Okay, so start the first one. More glitter. More glitter is going to be a thing with the new Jackpot. We're talking about doing some glitter in the paint to make the body come out a little bit better. Then this might be the first announcement of it, but we might have a glitter cannon.
Well, that's happened in the UK on the Antweight scene before. I believe it was Alex Shakespeare from Team Nuts made a glitter cannon, and it appeared at a Bristol Bot Builders event. And the Bristol Bot Builders guys were really thrilled with that cleanup job. I'm sure you're going to be the arena cleaner's best friend with a glitter cannon.
I mean, isn't that the rule of every good robot is to create a rule?
This is true. I mean, I say this as somebody who caused the arena cleaners quite a job with my face last season. So there's that. What is the requisite length of a plumber's crack, Jeff?
It depends on your experience. The longer you've been a plumber, the bigger the crack is.
Nice. And she also would like
it's how you determine their status.
And she'd also like to know, when will you gift the world with pictures of your team in safe tiara? I know what that means. I think this needs an explanation.
I might have to pass that one on to Shay, because Shay is the one that does the safety tiara.
Oh no, the safety tiara question?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Can you repeat the question so I can relay it to Shay?
When will you gift the world with pictures of your team in safety tiara?
When we gift the world pictures of the team in safety tiara?
When the custom ones are ready. That should be about a couple weeks out. The new the safe tiara 2.0 is coming.
You heard it here first.
Okay, there you go, Mary. The Safe Tiara is coming out soon. Keep an eye out
Soon.
for it.
Jake Dixon asks, were any parts given to you, or did the 4,000 cover literally everything?
A lot of the parts were covered via Sandcut Send. That was the main whole frame. But in all reality, yeah, the $4,000 did cover everything.
I mean, it's fair because the first Nelly cost $4,000 all in, pretty much, with repairs and stuff at filming as well. So a lot of people will sort of say, "Oh, this is really unbelievable," and like I was sat there watching it when they announced that, saying, "Excuse me."
I know, right?
I have done this. I got a win as well.
There's a bunch of other teams too that are like that cheap. It's just they kind of like leached into it, or like a bunch of like Vegas people betting on.
Is there a
I feel
stock
like
exchange of robots? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say I should re-say that question and add forking into it.
Was 4K forking literally everything?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So this week's episode is brought to you by forking. Last question we've got from Adam Matthew Peckett. He would like to know if Jackpot had a specialist card trick, what would it be?
That's a good one. I saw that question earlier and I couldn't really think of anything, but was it the 4 jacks? I remember it was like a card trick.
I'm going to be honest.
Where it's like tells a whole story about them, and I feel like that would fit.
I know nothing about card tricks.
Okay, so
I was going to say we could do a much simple version, dealing out damage.
Oh
Dear.
Very good. I'll give you a hand.
Oh dear.
I'll show you my hand.
Come on, poker.
Oh dear, just going to tell me to fuck off soon at some point.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to play a little game of beat, defeat, judges, Jeff. It's like Snog, Marry, Avoid, but less creepy and more robots. Obviously, your robot is Jackpot, and your 3 opponents are Huge, Uppercut, and Spicy Meatball. I mean, Big Dill.
All right, so if we had the proper working Shremek, I would say Big Deal would go to judges.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we'd probably lose against a Uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a massive, maybe double KO, them winning. Then I think we'd beat Huge just because that sheer factor of we can hit all their important bits.
Your spinner splatting their wheels would be quite a sight.
And I do believe we outreach their blade too, so we can just go right into their body as well.
Yeah, but I want to see the splatted wheels. That's what's getting me excited. Splatted wheels would be very fun. So the next thing on the list, Jeff, is we have to give out the Good Hit of the Night award for this episode. Do you have any nominations first, or would you like to hear ours?
Let's go with yours. Let's see what we got.
Okay, the ones that I have got down are Tantrum's Flaming Fusion Mohawk, because that was wonderful. Sawblaze smashing Kraken's face in. I'll shatter bonking Lockjaw to death. Dale, did you have any others?
I did think of Endgame perfectly nixing. See what I did there? Perfect Phoenix. No. Yeah, the Endgame hit on Perfect Phoenix.
It was a pretty good hit. So, Jeff, what do you think?
I'm going to have to go with the fancy hat.
I love the fancy hat. It was wonderful. It just, what a way to lose as well, getting stuck on your opponent's head. It's just, he was trying to get him off. He's like, come on, get off, man, get off. And then, well, he's being counted out. Oh, fuck it, I'll leave him there then. I'll win the fight this way. It's brilliant. We loved the wonky spinner on Tantrum. On that, how dorky did that look? Because it was still working as well, and it was just wonky.
I think what it is it's on those twin tracks that slide forward. I think one of the linear rails came disconnected, or it came off one of the rails.
Mm.
So I mean, it looked at the robot during the season. It is a hub motor, so it should be able to spin in every orientation, hopefully.
Well, there we go. Congratulations, Tantrum. You get the John Reed Good Hit of the Night award for episode 12. Jeff, another thing I'd like to cover with you, because I've had the newbie BattleBots experience. So tell us about this. How was BattleBots for you as a noob?
It was a little weird because it's a different year, but as far
Because of course
as,
your
like,
first experience is COVID BattleBots, isn't it?
Yes, COVID bots. So hopefully I get a real experience next year, if and when we get it.
We hope
But
so.
it was actually surprisingly friendly. Everyone's cool. Like, I know most of the U.S. builders anyway, just because I traveled to so many insect events. So it was kind of like a big family reunion with everyone.
Yeah. Do you have any interesting little anecdotes you could tell us from your BattleBots experience?
Well, we had there was a lot of little stories going on at BattleBots that year between all of us. Like, we had a awesome air mattress that we kept in the pits for naps, because naps are like the Vegas thing apparently. But we had there was a lot of little shenanigans going on. Like, we kept a hiding bean pods and a different robots. Like, we found these at a hotel, like at the main hotel the bots were staying at. There was a steak place right across the street, and they had a tree that grew all these pods, and they just started showing up on every robot that was in the west wing of the pits.
Oh, something similar happened last season. There was a sticker or something that kept going round. It was something to do with drilling. I can't remember what it was. Somebody who was at BattleBots last year. It was something. I'm sure it was Randy Farmer who did it. Randy Farmer went around doing something to people's bots, or was it Craig? It might. Okay, so somebody from BattleBots last year needs to remind me in the YouTube comments, please, and say, Sarah, you're completely wrong. It was in fact this. That's going to annoy me now. It was really funny. There were some really funny photos. It was like, do not insert, or something stupid like that. Never mind. I'm sure one of our 2 listeners will get back to me on that.
One of them is bound to know.
We hope so. And one of them is Dale, so it has to be the other one.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give out before you go?
There's a bunch of people I'd like to shout out from a last season that helped us get there. Like Dustin from Deep Six helped us out a lot with the weapon design and all that. That's why it hits so hard.
That's why it's so big. That's why that makes sense.
Okay, actually, here's a little story I can add to this of why the weapon is so big. I was still on Malice at the time I was designing Jackpot, and we were designing it, and the weapon was considerably Bite Forcey, any-aim style, small disc beater, whatever you want to call it, and I think Dustin was the one to say you should throw a Malice's weapon in there and see what it looks like. And that's also the secondary story of why you see that picture of Malice's weapon in Jackpot fitting so well.
Yeah, I was going to say I recently saw a picture of Malice's giant ass spinner in inside Jackpot. It goes quite well. It has to be said. It did look quite nice.
The hilarious part is Malice's weapon is lighter than Jackpot's weapon.
Oh, that's funny because it looks so much chunkier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the material sciences. But Dustin, Bunny, well, everyone from Malice, obviously all the VCR guys, and I'm trying to think of more people to shout out, but yeah.
I want to thank my mom, awesome. My dad, my family, my friends. Awesome. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great being here. Good to jump on these. They're always so fun.
Catch you later.
Bye.
That sound means it's time for the Builders playlist, and I'm not allowed to rant this week because Al hasn't got enough moisturiser left. Do you, Al?
Bollocks.
Oh, we've been trying to educate him in British swear words such as bollocks and wanker, and he's getting there slowly.
I was watching the Grand Tour last night, one of their specials. They were in Cambodia,
Mm.
And I swear every other word out of Hammond's mouth was bollocks. And I cracked up every time. Kara's like, what's wrong with you?
My favourite is James May with "Oh cock." That's
If we're doing any James May thing, it needs to be that wonderful viral video at the moment of him slamming cheese on a table and going, cheese. Nothing beats that.
Apart from metal. We do like metal here on the Builders playlist, so we'll bring it back to some metal, because you know what would be really bad as well as going off on a rant is we'd be going off on another tangent of stupidness. There are people who'd like that, to be fair, but it's the Builders playlist, so we'll do the thing. First up, Al, we have Mermaider by Deathlock, as suggested by Levitican Finichum. Here we go. Can I be brutally honest with you? I'm sorry, Levitican, but I didn't even listen to it the whole way through. It's lost on me, this one.
It's Don Metal Week all over again. It was interesting. I wouldn't say I'm going to go back and listen to it again, but it wasn't bad.
I'd get up and skip it.
You'd get up and skip it if it was on.
I would get up and skip it. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
It's not worse than Pantera, in my view. We'll check with Al about that, because
Wow. Wow, that's like harsh. Death Clock is pretty awesome. I don't know what you guys are, it's funny because you guys know that I don't really care for death metal, but I really like Death Clock. Those, for people who don't know, Death Clock is a fictional band in a cartoon show called Metalocalypse. It's basically a goof on death metal. And I find it hysterical that Death Clock is better than any band that they're goofing on. I always found that amazing.
The thing is, Metalocalypse is great. I don't hate this song. I don't like this song. It's okay.
I feel like if Death Clock is better than the genre they're goofing on, this is a damning indictment of the genre, right? I'm no death metal fan either, I must admit. It doesn't do a lot for me, but and this song is an example of it. And if this is the best that the genre has to offer, in Al's opinion, then I feel like my opinion on the genre itself is fairly we're being very brutal to Levitican, though. Sorry, dude. Al, is it worse than Pantera, though? That's the burning question.
Oh, absolutely not. This is not one of my favorite songs by them, but I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't skip it. I'd leave it on.
Mm. The big question, I guess, then is it going on the Builders playlist? Because Rara and I weren't particularly sold on it, but you seem a bit more sold on it. So
I like it. I like it.
Oh, there we go. We're opposed to him this week, Rara.
I know this feels bizarre.
I'm going to admit that when I listen to the Builders playlist before next season of BattleBots, I'm going to get up and skip this song.
Don't worry, it goes downhill from here.
Well, congratulations, Levitican. Despite me and Rara not enjoying it particularly much, Al liked it, so there you go. It's on the Builders playlist. Congratulations.
So going from one kind of cartoon, the Western cartoon, to the other kind of anime, we are now going to do a metal cover of an iconic anime opening. So this is the cover of the Attack on Titan intro music by a band called, I've lost it now, bollocks, by a band called Epica. It's a song called Crimson Bow and Arrow, so have a listen.
Thank you, Nate Milbank, for that suggestion.
I'm not a fan of Attack on Titan, but I know a good opening music when I hear it. And I kind of liked it.
Epica is a band that I like one or two of their songs of, and have one or two of their songs on my MP3 player, because I am admittedly a shuffle person and not an albums person. And I think that's one of the reasons I actually love living in the digital age of music, is because I don't have to go and buy albums that I don't listen to 7 tracks of. So yeah, this isn't a song I'd put on my MP3 player of theirs. And I have no idea what the anime was, which is why I handed this one over to you this week. I was like, you probably know about the anime. I don't even know what one he's talking about. Sorry, Nate.
Relatively popular. It's just not. It's not my cup of tea.
Al, what's your verdict?
I probably would have liked it more if I didn't know it had anything to do with anime. But actually, I shouldn't say that. Anime metal is slightly less annoying than video game metal.
Yes.
But Epica is weird with me. It's one of those bands that I feel like I should like them, but I just don't, and I don't even know why. I didn't hate this song. I probably wouldn't skip it, but I wouldn't make much effort to go out and get it or play it.
I don't hate it enough to get up and skip it. I'll give it that. Out between this one and Death Clock, I wouldn't get up and skip this one. I wouldn't go to the effort of it.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know if I'd put it on my playlist, but I was surprised for an anime that I actively dislike that the opening was pretty good.
You and I are being a bit brutal to the fans this week.
We are.
Al's being the nice one.
We're in a mood. I think this is hashtag Rara and Sarah go off and be in a mood week.
Oh, goodness. So,
I can't be the asshole of the program all the time.
Al is nice on occasion. So the burning question, Al, is it going in the Builders playlist?
I'm going to say yes, only because it really fits the genre that I love the most. So really based on that, not because I particularly like the song, but I don't hate it enough to not say yes.
Is it also because you have a crush on the singer?
Well, sure.
Knew it. So, okay, last up for you, we have Square Hammer by Ghost, as suggested by Elliot Goddard. This is the one I liked. Yay!
I was wondering how long it would take before we had Ghost on the show, because Ghost is really good.
I had never heard of them before. This is a new one on me, and if this song is anything to go by, I'm going to enjoy a bit more of them.
I just love their style and like the dress up that they do and the face paint that looks so damn cool.
Al, what are your thoughts?
I don't like Ghost. I've never liked
now.
I've never liked Ghost. I have friends who love Ghost that are into metal and you know, and they love it. Oh, you got to listen to this. And as many times as I've tried, I sat and listened to this whole song. I mean, hell, it has Hammer in the title, so I got to listen to it. I think they're probably good at what they do. I don't know what I wouldn't call them straight metal. I don't know if they're kind of a hard rock or which is if you've listened to this show even long enough, you know that when I have trouble categorizing a band, that's usually a plus for me because it's not like they're copying anybody. I do think they're kind of doing a little bit of their own thing, but it's just not my thing. I'm not even saying they're a bad band. I just don't like them.
Fair enough. Is it going to go in the Builders playlist though? You could take pity on me and Rara, and you could make it a hat trick this week.
I'm gonna pass.
Rara, should we fight him?
Oh, let him have it. Let him have it.
Oh, okay, it's going on the Nelly playlist though.
Sure, definitely.
You are in charge of the Nelly playlist, so that's your orders.
I
Soldier.
put new music on it this morning. Thank you very much. I'm well aware.
Ooh, I shall go and check it out. So I think that just about wraps it up for the Builders playlist
Hold on a
this week.
second.
Oh,
Hold on
what?
1 second. I have one quick thing for the 3 listeners. I came across something this week that I think all metal people will enjoy. I did post it in the thread. It's a band called Amaranth. I haven't done any research on them, so I don't know where they're from, what they do, or how many albums they have. But I believe we're going to leave a sample, so check them out.
Oh my god.
That was really good.
This redeemed the 2 I didn't like. Wow. Okay, this is I've listened to this like 5 times today now. Al literally showed us this today, and we literally just loved it so much we're like, sod it, we've just got to squeeze it in on the playlist. It's wow.
Absolutely.
I do like this. So by unanimous vote, this is pushing its way into the Builders playlist unannounced, right, guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nuclear
Awesome.
Blast artist.
Of course. Well, on that note, it really is time to wrap up the Builders playlist now. So thank you for joining us as ever, Al.
Hail Hydra.
Thanks, Rara. See you later.
Bye.
Right, I suppose I better get Dale back. Dale!
Where was I? You turned out the lights. Oh,
Did I?
What? Yes.
Sorry. It's time to do Meme of the Week, Dale.
Oh, yes. What we got?
So we have got one up this week. It was no contest. It was Brian Bruijn with his video of I'm not even sure what to call this. What do we call it, Dale?
Oh, that one. Yes, it was that one.
It was that. Go and look up Brian Bruijn in the group, ladies and gentlemen, and see his video. We're not sure what to call it. Perhaps, Brian, you could get back to us and give it a title for us. We're not sure what to call it, but it made us kind of simultaneously giggle and what the fuck at the same time. So we're going to give it the Meme of the Week. Congratulations, Brian.
Yes. Congrats, well done.
Congrats, well done. And we are going to replace the Faroukalicious Award this week with the Chris Rose Roast of the Week. But not that we really do them every week. We're completely stealing this from Tale of the Tape, which we should go and listen to, by the way, because Tale of the Tape is pretty cool.
Well, it's not listening.
Yeah, you should watch it even. They have
Yeah.
videos up there. They're more technologically advanced over there in America than we are over here, ladies and gentlebots, I have to say. This is complete bullshit.
And you
but
get to see technical T-Rex.
you do get to
Wait.
see technical T-Rex.
Yes.
And I may go and spend too much money on a technical T-Rex shirt. But we shall see. So anyway, the Faroukalicious Award has been replaced this week because Chris Rose got burned by Kenny, who said that Mammoth was awkward and effective, just like Chris Rose. And it was worth it for the Chris Rose stare. I just the lovely way he looked at Kenny, just like, you bastard.
The same way you look at me when I say the names I call you.
Yes.
Ah, yeah, there we go. That's the one.
That's just you bastard, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny, yeah, of course, not me.
I want to see Chris Rose call him Kenjamin Florian.
I want to see you call him that.
I mean, I do it. I'm brave enough, but Chris Rose is a different matter. Was it Chris Rose? If you're listening, will you please film yourself calling him Kenjamin Florian? I did it on Instagram, right? Which is, I admit, that's cowardly. You know, it's behind a keyboard. I will do it at BattleBots 2021, especially if you do it. If you do it, Chris, I will not only call him Kenjamin Florian, I will call him another name of your choice. How does that sound, Chris? Deal? Get back to me, Chris. Get back to me, Chris. I just want to talk to Chris Rose. Who doesn't love Chris Rose?
Probably someone weirdo out there.
Some strange person. Maybe Kenny.
Oh, we never know.
Oh, there we go. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of the Shuntcast, so it's goodbye from Dale.
Bye-bye.
And it's goodbye from the Queen. Goodbye.
You're like Chris Rose, you're awkward, but you're effective.